Hello, Carrots here. Welcome to episode 36 of the 30 Grandchildren Badge attempt. We're getting close to the end now, and this episode we are in the Great Southern Land, and we've had to tell poor Bernhilda to go back to her coffin permanently because we've introduced a cowardly sim to this episode, and he's going to be living here until probably the final episode, so we may not see much more of Bernhilda. The cowardly sim's name is Bruce, and he was Constance's imaginary friend made real. I found he kept running to the same spot, which was a dead end, and just standing there and not doing anything other than panic, and couldn't have that happen. He needs to learn some skills. So she's gone into her coffin. Clarice is upstairs reading on her tablet. She's completed all of her training, which is good because Kobe's just arrived and they're going to get married in this episode. And there's Jack. He's still got lots of learning to do. Here we go. Kobe and Clarice have gone out on a date. They've already spent a lot of time getting to know each other, so they're pretty good buddies already. I think they're already romantic interests. They've come to the dome to spend some quality time together and to plan their future. They know they're supposed to get married to each other, and they're just wondering, do they really want to go ahead with this or not? This could be the moment when they make up their minds. After all, this dome is a favourite place for romance for the inhabitants of the Great Southern Land. It's just got so many things in it that they can do together. And there's our happy couple. At this stage, they do appear to be getting along very nicely together, happily chatting. Time went by so quickly. They stood there and they talked and they talked and they talked for hours and hours. And of course, all of that talking included a certain amount of flirting. Their relationship appeared to be going very well right now. Things are looking good for the possibilities of this pair getting together and getting married. In this episode, hopefully. At some point during their lengthy conversation, they had become boyfriend and girlfriend officially. And then it was time to watch the stars together. They certainly seem happy enough together, very relaxed, close, enjoying the stars and the solitude that they've got in the dome. Don't often have the dome to themselves, but this pair have been lucky so far.
Oh, Askanaba.
Yar.
Oh, Akala.
Time's up. They've had enough of watching the stars. Let's move on to the next stage and see what happens next. What's Kobe up to? He's obviously got something on his mind. Oh, let's have a nice cuddle. And a little flirt. Flowers! He's given her a bunch of flowers. Massage time. This relationship is certainly going ahead with leaps and bounds because massage is a big thing in The Sims. Or they don't have the dome to themselves. Wonder who that is. Hungry. Let's go have an icy cone. Wonder what flavour. Looks like a rainbow sort of flavour, doesn't it? And Kobe's got a yellow one. Maybe that's pineapple flavour. And in the spirit of togetherness, they will sit together on the bench in the middle of the dome and enjoy their icy cones. Of course, Clarice finished her cone first because she started first. She sat there for a second thinking about what will she do, and then she stood up and walked over close to the little Ferris wheel. And Kobe finished his cone and followed her. Dip kissed. Things are going well, aren't they? At least Kobe hopes they are. They seem to be. She does appear to be quite happy to be with him and is enjoying all the kisses and cuddles and massages and flirting. They're getting along quite well. Now what have they got planned? Oh, a romantic photo together. Was nice. Let's just see what happens next.
Kuza. Roby. Credia. Senti.
Ashamo. Whoa!
Ishtanema.
Sasmiar.
Zazak.
Oh. Wonderful. Ibo Mepsa Vazatin. Manor.
Mashtu.
Kava. Oh, Zarbuchi.
Oh.
Kusa Melino?
Linorka.
Oh.
Hula. Chino la kana que sere. Kere sere kipo? Mari. Macheni?
Jarka. Niwanita. Koha.
Smushla.
Wow, things were getting a little heated there, weren't they? I think that looks like they've decided to watch the stars together again. I wonder where this is going to lead to.
Huh?
Oh.
That didn't last for long. Very quick watching of the stars together. But they were close together and sitting down for a while, so I suppose they just had a little rest. Time for another chat, maybe. Oh, looks like Kobe's got something else on his mind. Will we get married? And she says yes. Look at her, she's so excited, she's so happy. Well, that shiny ring going on her finger. They're engaged. Now all they need to do is get married. Very good. So, Kobe and Clarice are set up. Let's go check on Sharona and Stan. While Kobe and Clarice were at the Dome with all of those distractions, Sharona and Stan had gone into a local park. It was very dark, it was in the middle of the night, and they were the only ones there, and they'd been talking as well, and getting to know each other, and they knew they were expected to get married to each other, and they were just working out if they wanted to get married to each other or not. We'll see how they've been progressing.
Large.
Sobidan Chiparu, Baliat Bandaglarn, and soon.
And soon they were watching the stars together as well. This group of Gerri's children, the ones in the middle, they have been so patient seeing all their older siblings find romance and get married, and they've just been so keen and wishing, when is their turn coming? And when it comes, they're just in a hurry. They just want to get married and they want to start their families. So now that they've met their future spouses, they plan to get on with it quickly. They knew that their future spouses had been designed especially for them and very carefully chosen, so they should be totally compatible. These little romances and getting to know you sessions are just to break the ice and to make sure, absolutely certain, that they will be happy together.
Huh? Burgala.
Ooh, Bronzy.
Meniskavo.
And of course the future spouses have always known that they have been made especially for the Sims in Gerri's household, and they've been living in the house in the Great Southern Land, learning and studying in preparation for the big day when they finally get to meet the sim that they're going to live with for the rest of their lives and have their babies with. Because this lot, the main interest in their lives is to have 5 babies and raise them from baby to teen. That is their lifetime wish. All of them have the same lifetime wish.
Blab.
So when you've got 2 motivated and compatible sims, it doesn't necessarily take very long for them to get to the point of deciding, yes, they definitely want to spend their lives together and have babies.
Kanjanit? Hubalo Brig.
And the romance between Stan and Sharonda is going along swimmingly. They've already got to the massage stage.
Tulashini?
If things keep going the way they have been between this pair, we could end up with a double wedding. That is what I was hoping for. And it might even be possible. We just got to get Stan to pop the question. Let's see if he's got the courage to do that.
Arbkobina Shasha.
Lurk.
If he does, I'm hoping Sharonda will say yes.
What's a Faruni?
Zarf.
Oh, Gwelbus.
Marja Samdiakta.
Oh.
Good day, Debo. Parawadiza.
Gazaks.
Glarf. Nis
Fim Ganzel.
Arshna. Jazzy.
And then suddenly, he had the courage.
Idu. Idu.
Gertadnav.
Oh, Dotton. Kofinas.
And of course she said yes. So the wedding is on.
Mabuluki.
See how we can manage to have 2 weddings at the same time. Could be interesting. Back at home, Rachel is practicing a new skill. Looks like she's been practicing it for a while because she's breaking space rocks. This is not one of the skills that I have set down that they need to learn, but I'm not going to stop her. But she's going to have to pause for a while. Well done, Rachel. But we've all got to go to the wedding. And here is Kobe and Clarice all done up in their wedding finery. And the guests are arriving. That's Sharonda. She's come in her formal dress. So maybe it's not going to be exactly a double wedding, but I'm sure we will have 2 weddings today. There's Stan with his stripy green and yellow shirt on. Rachel's dancing with Phil Oxley. He's a werewolf. He's one of my really old sims. I think he was the first werewolf I ever made and he got made when Supernatural was first released. That guy over in the back, the guy in the beard that's walked off, he is an evil bikie, mean-spirited. He's the one I think got me the big meanie badge when I wasn't even controlling him. So we've got Kobe and Clarice under the wedding arch. Finally, it looks like the wedding is about to go ahead. Oh dear, it looks like Clara has got the insane trait now. Time to cut the cake.
Woohoo! Yeah!
Kuplarchne.
Ako the guwag.
Ah, hippie tala.
Spurgle.
Chima! Chima! Woohoo! Woohoo! Yeah!
Ota, suba lurksa. Snar.
There's Patience dancing there in the middle with the black dress on.
Our tubes pansaki. Ma Kakani?
Jarga. Ni wanita. Go.
Ujani.
Song dibby dibby dibby. Wash the zip.
And then, suddenly, all of the celebrations and dancing was interrupted by another wedding. There are Stan and Sharonda, and they're going to get married now as well. And Clara's still got a bikini on. Well, I'm going to have to get rid of that unstable trait because she keeps getting new traits and they just get worse and worse. And now they are married. And Stan got 5,000 very useful lifetime happiness points because he so wanted to get married. He had a huge wish that got him at 5,000 lifetime happiness points for getting married to Sharonda. And now we have another wedding cake to cut, and here's Stan to do the honours. Let's hope Sharonda can make her way to him. She's being blocked there by all of the wedding guests. We always seem to get somebody from one of the booths upstairs that come and attend the weddings. There he is, that guy with the top hat on with the red band. He's not somebody I invited. I think he was working upstairs and just came down to enjoy the fun. Stan's done the honours. We've got 2 brides today and they're both legitimately brides. The last wedding we only had 1 actual bride, but about 5 others turned up in their bridal outfits as guests. We have 2 happy couples dancing on the dance floor to celebrate their marriage. And Next thing, we're going to send them home to Cake Island, where they will move into their own new houses. I've found 4 empty houses close together that are identical to each other. So these 2 couples, as well as the next 2 couples, will live there. The houses that I've found are smaller than the houses that the other siblings that have already married and moved into their homes have got. So if I was to ever play any of these couples with their families, I would need to add a basement to give them room to all live happily and comfortably. But anyway, you'll see those houses shortly. Let them dance for a little bit first to celebrate their weddings. And while they're dancing, all of their guests are busily eating all of the cake. They seem to be enjoying themselves. I ended up having not many guests because when I started I had a whole lot of guests and the game couldn't even manage to get Kobe and Clarice married. I had to start again and only invite a couple of Sims apart from the household. And then the wedding went ahead without a hitch. And that's Patience still dancing happily by herself in the middle of the floor. Rachel's dancing with Bruce, the new cowardly imaginary friend who's just arrived into the household to learn his new skills. That one in the green, she's one of the new imaginary friends made real. She's come here to stay until she's learned enough to go and live on her own in her own house in Cake Island. We've got 5 imaginary friends here at the moment. Before we head back to Cake Island, I'll just show you who is currently living in the house in the Great Southern Land after the 2 newly married couples return to their home in Cake Island. There are the final 5 future spouses: Mark, Larry, Jack, Chris and Karen. So that means there's 5 more weddings to go, and the next wedding will be 2 Sims getting married just like there was in this episode. And then there's the final 5 imaginary friends made real. And they are here just to learn all their skills. They will eventually return to Cake Island to become independent townies living in their own houses and see what happens to them. The 2 couples who'll marry in the next episode are Megan and Mark on the left and Larry and Latoya on the right. That will just leave 3 couples left, and we'll have to work out, do we get a triple wedding in 1 episode or do we do 2 more episodes to get them all married? Meanwhile, Kobe and Clarice, as well as Sharona and Stan, are travelling back home to Cake Island to settle into their new homes and their new married lives together. Pink Rose House is the new home for Kobe and Clarice, while Sharona and Stan will live in the Orange House. And the street they live in is called Buttercream Lane. That top level in those 2 houses is not accessible by steps, so it's really only 2 levels that they can live in. They've travelled back home to Cake Island, and this would be the house belonging to Clarice and Kobe, I believe. I've added the playground equipment in the backyard, and I've upgraded some of their things like the new fridge and stove and that sort of thing. Both the pink and the orange house are identical inside, so I'll just show you inside Kobe and Clarice's house. And I've given both houses new playground equipment out the back. They're fairly basic little houses, but there's plenty of room in them for children. And Stan has gone off exploring around Cake Island, and he's come across the little casino. I've seen Sims in here before in earlier episodes. Stan wasn't actually playing the casino machines, he was just having a look around. It looks like there's a Showtime stage in there as well. And of course, being in Cake Island from above, the building looks delicious. And do you remember seeing the little pizza building in the earlier episode? Well, this is what it looks like inside. There's plenty of Showtime things in it as well. And here it is from above. Slice of pizza on a pizza box. And this is Cake Island from above, with all of the houses that are currently occupied by Gerri and her children, plus Tony, who is the father of Gerri's 15 children. And the circle on the left, the pink circle on the left, that is where Kobe and Clarice and Sharona and Stan are now living. So the newly married couples are both now happily settled into their new homes, and it's time to go back to Gerri's place, where she is living with her final 5 children, who are now young adults and ready to get married. And we're going to now send the next 2 off on their journey to the Great Southern Land, where they can meet their future spouses. So we are about to see Megan, there she goes running, Megan and Latoya, who are going to go and live in the house in the Great Southern Land, where they will meet Larry and Mark, and their wedding will be in the next episode. Unfortunately, both of the future husbands need to do more reading and more skilling before they can get married. So these 2 young ladies will probably spend quite a while in the Great Southern Land, but I may not show you all of the study that goes on, but they will be visiting various locations around the Great Southern Land with their future spouses. So you'll see a bit more of the Great Southern Land in the next episode than you did in this one. So that is the end of this episode. If you've enjoyed it, please give it a like. If you haven't subscribed and want to see the next episode, be a good idea to subscribe. That way you won't miss out. So thank you for watching, and I will see you in the next episode. Happy simming, and bye bye for now.